This one's a big tune.
That's right, folks. Big news flash.
Oh my God!
BSW.
Brass hats know what time it is. Get up off of your seats and bow down to the king.
One of the greatest in this game, and one of my favorite all-time people in this game. The Versace Stoner.
It's places like this. I started in a mill. I'm here still in a mill. I consider myself a mill wrestler.
Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner. Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner. I am very, very happy to be back, and I can't wait for this episode. We're going to give Disabled Wolf a call. He's been waiting to get on here about this one, too. We're talking a bunch of stuff, and I can't wait. What is going on, Mr. Wolf? I'm not getting very loud reception from you. Let me see something.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ooh.
So, welcome here. We're talking everything, okay? You know, we're talking sports. We got Bruins, Celtics. We're talking gaming. We've had some new movies to talk about. We might even talk some wrestling tonight. But let's start off with the big one. Unfortunately, tough L for all the hockey fans. Talk a little bit about what happened with the Bruins.
Absolutely. It is a tough L indeed, Versace. As you know, the Boston Bruins had a Game 7 heartbreaking loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. It's just the defense was too good for Bruins to match up. Yeah. Well, 1 second. Yeah. Oh, come on, 1 second.
You know, I was actually on my honeymoon, though, watching these games. The last two, anyways, I went away to New Hampshire up in Mount Washington at the Omni Hotel. What a fabulous hotel, too. We stayed in the new presidential wing. Amazing view of the mountains, everything. And I have to tell you, there was a bunch of hockey fans. The few bars that were in the hotel were pumped. Between that and the Celtics playing, but a lot of hockey fans were there. And, you know, we watched and we saw in that one win. And then, like I said, that last game just was rather sad. Sad day indeed. But it was a sad, happy weekend. You know. I guess Disabled Wolf is having some technical issues. So, I'm going to take over for a little bit. I'm just going to chat about what I've been doing here at the VSW podcast. As you know, I mean, we are the premier spot right now for your independent wrestling scene. We got a lot of wrestling going on. You got, you know, chaotic running shows, NCW coming up on the 27th, and a bunch of other stuff coming up on the 27th. It happens to be my birthday, might I add. And we also have Limitless Main returning on the 28th, AEW on the 29th. It's like bing, bang, boom. And, you know, you got a bunch of other great wrestling. Disabled Wolf has been going to a bunch of those. As you know, I personally had gotten married, so had to take a little break from going to shows. But Disabled Wolf has done a great job covering it. Meanwhile, what I've been doing on the whole front is we've been doing a lot of new kind of gaming. Talk a little bit about the gaming I do. I've been playing some various, you know, first-person shooters, survival games, Call of Duty, things like that, but then also horror games. My son got me into a whole bunch of realm of horror games, including the likes of Huggy Wuggy from Poppy's Playtime. This kid just loves it. He loves Poppy's Playtime. Loves the characters Huggy Wuggy, Kissy, Missy, Killy, Willy, Mummy, Long Legs. It goes on and on. And, he watches all the cartoons, all the YouTube. Loves it. He also got me into Five Nights at Freddy's. We'd be playing that. And he got me into Bendy, the cat, and the ink machine, and that's another one. He's got me into a whole bunch of things. And we've been playing. We've actually got chapter 1 and 2 of Bendy up, completed on our YouTube, as well as actually the complete chapter 1 playthrough of Poppy's Playtime. Chapter 2 is out. We do own it for Steam, and we will be playing that soon. But until that, like I said momentarily, there's also another game coming out I saw today called The Quarry, looking amazing with a stellar cast of characters, real life actors, and more. So you can check all these games out. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, more gaming, iOS gaming, as well as Xbox, WWE 2K22 as well. We got our good friend Rocco, ECW fan 5, down on Twitter. He makes a bunch of the independent scenes as creator wrestlers, and he does a fabulous job. He made our good friend Sydney Baca Bella. He makes all these people. Today he released Big Dan Champion, and I can't wait to download that. We're gonna do some matches with that. As you know, we did a VSW virtual championship. And it was actually Rocco made a lot of those characters. And he also made our belt. We gave him the design, of course. It's our logo, but he created it. He created a lot of the stuff. So, kudos to him. He's a great person. Also, kudos to one of our other sponsors. Mike Panchu. Thank you for all you do here at the VSW. You're an unsung hero here. And, we really, really appreciate all the support that you give us. Thank you, and everybody should check out him on Instagram, Michael Panchu or Michael Panchu. He sells a whole bunch of skin care products, CBD products, all sorts of stuff. Check him out. So that's right, Michael Panchu on that. ECW Fan 5 on Twitter. Go, give him a follow. Check him out. Okay, let's see now. Is this Disabled Wolf? Did he say he's ready? Let me see what he is saying. And let me see, is this him? Okay, it is Disabled Wolf. He is ready. He is ready to be back. Let's give him a ring. Welcome back. I was just telling the fans about how I do a little bit of now the gaming and the horror gaming and this and that, and how we have our great sponsors, people like Michael Panchu who help us out, the unsung heroes, and we got other good people like Rocco, ECW Fan 5 on Twitter, making our creative wrestlers and all of that. So we have a bunch of people that just help us kind of put things together in our gaming world. And, we've been doing a bunch of gaming, a lot of it. I've been doing a bunch of horror games and, different first-person shooters. You've been doing a lot of Sonic and different things like that. And we've been trying new things. But let's go back to the original talk. It was a tough weekend and a bad weekend. Like I said, I was on my honeymoon with those games. And that last game of the NHL, for the Bruins was this tough.
Absolutely. Talk about high and low weekend, Versace. As I was low in Mass, you were high in the mountains in New Hampshire. This also applies to sports, Versace. As we have a tough loss Saturday for the Bruins and early exit, we also have an amazing Game 7 thriller by the Celtics. And it was a mixed bag of a weekend, per se.
It was. It really was.
So many years of heritage for all our sports teams, right? First time ever, Bruins and Celtics played back-to-back Game 7s. It's a statistic I never knew didn't happen before.
No, it didn't. And it did this year. And like I said, I was on my honeymoon. We had a really nice bar. Two really nice bars, might I add, actually, like back to back. And everybody was just watching the sports all week, and it was great. And people were into it, believe it or not. People were rooting for Boston, even in New Hampshire. And it was a good experience, but like I said, things kind of went south for the Bruins. They're out. And with that being said, though, the Celtics are in. I mean, they took a tough loss last night, but they're still in. One loss doesn't mean anything, but that aside, they did win that other playoff game, which was a really good game. So
Against the defending NBA champions, I may add, too.
that's what I'm saying. So I mean, Boston is always known to be full of surprises, and that's what they do. And when one team kind of falls off a little bit, another one just kind of pops up and takes charge.
Absolutely. We need that for the VSW. And you say pop up.
Well, it's happened year after year with how long has the Patriots carried, let's say, Boston's wins, and then Boston, the path will be out. The Celtics picked up some victories, or the Red Sox started picking up some championships. The Bruins started picking up some trophies, and that's what would happen. So
we're the only city in one decade to win all four major sports titles within a 10-year span, so.
Yeah, we're lucky we didn't. We almost did it all in 1 year.
Oh, I know. Plenty of times, actually.
So, I mean, but yeah, Boston is a city of champions. We have really good sports. We're lucky with that. And we're going forward. The Celtics. They're gonna what? They're on tomorrow night. Game 2.
If they're on tomorrow night, Game 2, everything's on either ESPN or ABC since they have the East Finals and TNT have the West. And the funny part is, Versace, for the first time ever, both the NBA and NHL have the same TV deals. If TNT's doing hockey, chances are ESPN's doing basketball and vice versa.
Oh, wow.
With 2 TV deals and everything, you had a heartbreaking loss for the Bruins, as I may add, as the Carolina Hurricanes were one of the best penalty-killing teams in all of the NHL this season. As the former Hartford Whalers, the Carolina Hurricanes and Boston Bruins meet in the playoffs again. And Carolina's been coming into it, have won their last 4 Game 7s. And the Bruins have a mixed bag with Game 7s. Obviously, that heartbreaking 3-0 comeback loss to the Philadelphia Flyers years ago. And you have that epic 4-1 comeback into overtime victory against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you have and they had a loss to the Hurricanes in a Game 7 probably 11 years ago, too. So these teams it may seem like it's a new feud, but the Hurricanes have been existing in a while. Most recently as the Hartford Whalers a long time ago, so there's a lot of people in New England that probably root for the Carolina Hurricanes and probably don't have a clue who the Whalers are.
But they'll rock you like a hurricane.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. The Bruins sure got rocked all right in Carolina. So it's been a tough place to play. Boston's known as being loud and passionate. I was there for Game 4.
You were? You were, and, but, I have to say I'm proud of what they did.
Me
And
too,
now we just got to
especially
see,
with
you know, what are the Celtics going to be able to do in this next round? Um, you know, they did lose that last game, but it wasn't a total beatdown.
definitely wasn't. In other case, for the first half, the Celtics were dominating. They eating all fronts. They collapsed. Usually, the Celtics have been known, especially the series against the Bucks, to have a collapsement. Especially we had two players having last-minute health and safety protocols they missed last night.
Well, these Bucks aren't young though.
No super kick parties, eh? Maybe in the third quarter there was, because that's when the Celtics were at their worst.
Yes, it was. You know, maybe too many slapping of the legs and not enough controlling your narrative was the problem with that third quarter, unfortunately. But you know,
You also lost Marcus Smart last night with a foot sprain, and you have Al Horford fail health and safety protocols. Is that the new word for possibly having COVID?
probably safety protocol. Yeah, I mean, what else is it gonna be? Unless
Al
it's like
Horford,
that
big.
monkeypox I was reading about earlier that's hitting.
Oh yeah,
Supposed to
we got
be
a case of monkeypox.
it's supposed
now,
to be
eh?
it's supposed to be more itchy than the chicken pox. And of course nobody has a vaccine for that one.
If they'll even want to take it.
I'm sure there'll be a South Park special about it soon enough.
Oh, please do. We could use that.
I wish the South Park would do a special on the independence scene.
Oh my God.
How great that would be.
If I ever ran a promotion, I would want them to be head of creative.
I would just let them just parody the whole thing. But, you know, I talked a little bit. You know, we got a lot of wrestling coming up on that Friday. On the 27th, my birthday, you got, you know, Top Rope, NCW, Grind,
Chaotic.
Chaotic 2. And then Saturday.
Mentioning that and my stream for the daily Sonic Dash unexpectedly ended.
It did. But then Saturday, we have main Limitless, and then Sunday you have AEW. So it's bing, bang, boom for wrestling that long weekend.
Pick your choice Friday. You've got Limitless Saturday, and you've got Double or Nothing, one of the best AEW pay-per-views. When it was in Vegas, it's long overdue for their pay-per-view in Vegas.
Are they back in Vegas this year?
Yeah, they are.
We'll be doing a preview soon on that. You know.
Absolutely.
As you know, as you know, obviously, I've been on my honeymoon, married, been kind of taking a little break from all the wrestling, doing all the stuff. You've been kind of keep holding down the fort. You went to Chaotic Watertown. You've been kind of checking out some of the shows, keeping an eye on, you know, the results and stuff. Much appreciated, as you know. A lot entails in a wedding and all that goes into it afterwards. And then we had some issues after with the honeymoon. We had to postpone, but you know, these things, this is the post-COVID world that we live in. But, you know, things will be starting to get back to normal. We'll be covering shows. We'll be doing the previews, the recaps. There's just so many shows, though, you got now, you know.
Especially now, since some of it is not picking one promotion, some of it is oversaturated. Whoever gives VSW the most perks will get the most coverage.
Yeah, it might have to come down to that, you know. But I mean, it is. We're gonna have a lot. I mean, some of these promotions are throwing out 3 shows at a time. Others are putting out, you know, 1 show a month. Some of them every week. So I mean, I wish we could get it all in there. It's just we only got 2 of us. There's really nobody reliable to cover the wrestling. Yes, we have a lot of, you know, we have some supportive fans and some support here in the back end, but nobody really on the front end, except me and you going to these shows, taking videos, covering it, you know, taking notes, putting all the work into it, doing the traveling.
Sometimes just one.
Exactly, you know, and it's been just you since I've been, you know, dealing with the wedding and all that. So, people are a little upset that we haven't got a lot of coverage. Well, I mean, it is only 1 or 2 people at a time running this whole thing.
Watch our streams. Get our watch hours up. You want us to do more for the industry? Don't beg. Watch.
Yeah, exactly. And we can definitely help out more. We need some more view hours that will help us, and with help we can get in more. You know, we can maybe even bring in people to help us get more coverage out there. I mean, we can only be at so many shows. We can only travel so far. and we can only do so much. But with that being said, we do the best we can, and we'll do as much as we can. That's always been the motto of the VSW, to bring the independent scene to the forefront, and to combine Boston sports with professional wrestling. To bring those last of the few fans back from the Attitude Era, and say, hey, wrestling's not completely dead yet. Check it out. There's something to watch.
You don't have to watch it on TV. You can go to your local indie promotion.
Exactly. You don't have to watch the cartoon stuff that's on TV, or even if you're an AEW fan, you don't want to, or you're not an AEW fan, or whatever the hell you want to watch, you can. You can go to your local indie scene, and a lot of it is adult oriented, or similar. It's not kiddie stuff. It's not the PG era stuff that you would think you would see, and a lot of it's fun. It's not all cheeseball stuff that it kind of gets lumped to be.
Some promotions find a way to blend both and the family friendliness and the edginess.
It is. They do, and they do it all the time, and they do it without you even knowing it seamlessly, and it's great. The independent scene is flourishing. AEW is helping it flourish. A lot of familiar faces are getting on TV, and this is helping the scene thrive. A lot of people are getting well overdue coverage. Before, when they could only get it in one spot, WWE. Now they can get it on AEW Dark. Pretty soon maybe they'll be able to get into Ring of Honor. New Japan USA, another one. A bunch of places are bringing people in.
There's more room for people to thrive now, Versace.
There is. Tons.
Absolutely.
So. And like I said, you've been doing your gaming, and that's been going pretty good, I have to say myself. The Sonic. I have to watch today's stream. I haven't really got a chance. I was doing some with my kid. But, I see you having fun with them. I've been playing some games, and you're probably going to play some other games. We took a trip to the GameStop today. They were really friendly to us.
Absolutely, giving you a lot of game ideas for future VSW.
Well, yeah, you were getting coffee first, so I kind of went in there, and he was like, can I help you or anything? And I was like, I was looking for this one game my kid was yagging about, Hello Neighbor. I wanted to see if they had it used, but they didn't, and they had another store. And then I was just telling her about our podcast. I showed her some of our numbers and stuff. And she was like, oh, cool, and then we started talking about the Funkos, and that's when you came in, we were looking, and then she started talking, we were asking about you saw the Eddie Funko.
Yeah,
so,
it was a big Funko.
I was just wondering if it was an old one or a new one, and she happened to know it was the newest Series Eddie, and so on, so forth. And, she started telling us about a new game, The Quarry, coming out, and I actually came home, I watched the trailer of it. Phenomenal. It looks really, really good. It has a full cast. Even former WCW champion David Arquette is in the game.
Wow.
Yeah? Pretty crazy. So, we're gonna something that definitely part of the VSW will probably play or get a hold of if it's gonna be one of those survival games. We like those survival games. And we also like, some of these first person shooters and action games, and then of course, they've just released some of the newest sports games, so we'll be starting to do some of those as well. Through the EA Sports package with Xbox membership. So and plus the iOS games. We're always looking at phone games. Those are big. I think you're gonna try to be doing some Pokemon soon.
Pokemon Unite. No, maybe not so much Pokemon Go because I can't really be on Wi-Fi a lot when you look for Pokemon. But that new board game, Pokemon Unite, looks pretty sick.
Yeah. And maybe you can even do some Mario Kart or Mario Run.
Oh.
Unless you're just a favorite of Sega, and that's okay too, but
I've always been supporters of both Mario and Sonic. They both unique, but a lot of people think they're similar, but they're polar opposites too. One's normal pace, one's very fast paced when you play them.
yeah, for the most part, Mario moves at a regular normal pace, and then Sonic is just, he's Sonic speed, which is about the sound, which is the speed of sound. something like 300 and something odd kilometers an hour or something. I don't know. Very fast. But yeah, I mean, we speaking of Sonic, we watched recently Sonic 2, another great movie, even outdoing, in my opinion, the first one in that franchise.
I thought the first one was great, don't get me wrong, but the second one was just amazing.
It did. It blew my mind. I mean, I was really surprised. Gaming movies have a really bad rep. I mean, look at starting all the way back with like that Mario Brothers movie. Final Fantasy, that animation movie, was kind of a letdown, to be honest. Resident Evil, it was okay, but it wasn't really part of the game. Silent Hill was okay, but it wasn't. It was missing something, you know. And it was one of the better ones. Don't get me wrong, but you know, gaming's always had like this ups and downs. But these Sonic movies have delivered.
Absolutely, to a point. What I think is really making them blossom is the fact, like, I loved the Sonic X anime when I was younger. I know Sonic had some other animation. They don't throw all these characters at once. Like, yeah, just Sonic and Eggman first, and then this is focus on Tails and Knuckles. And the next movie will have another character that features, and it leaves you wanting more and more each movie, which is great, you know?
Well, yeah. They well, they did it kind of like, honestly, like the games would be done. You know, in the first game it was only Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. You know, second game it was just Sonic, Robotnik, and Tails. Third game, Knuckles. Then, you know, when Sega went over to Sega CD and the other games, then you had all your other characters, Amy, and all these other people, and eventually Shadow, and all of them.
Yeah.
And they can do that with the movies. They can keep, you know, keep the movies going.
Right.
So I mean, you know, I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do. It's not gonna be the ending, obviously, as you saw in the teaser. Did you see Doctor Strange?
I have not. I am really dying to see that movie.
Maybe we'll watch it tomorrow. I think I can get a copy of it.
Absolutely. I'd love to get a copy of tickets because I heard all you have to do is watch obviously the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War and the first Doctor Strange, and the whole series of WandaVision, which I ended up loving.
Well, WandaVision was probably my favorite of everything. I just loved how it was done with the old TV and the new, and just kind of the mystery and everything. I thought it was just greatly done. I'm a big fan of Disney Plus's shows, all the way from the Star Wars ones to that. Of course, all the Marvel movies are good. I think they really are. I mean, DC puts out some good stuff. Batman was okay. Problem with me and Batman is there's just been too many Batmans. There's been too many bad stories. Bad stories, not bad stories. Bad stories. The background is just, you know, who killed who? Was it the Joker that killed his parents? Was it somebody else? Did he create the Joker? You know, so many stuff. The only line I really like to follow is probably that, honestly, that 89 storyline. I like that one the best. With, you know, Michael Keaton there. But, any which ways, like I said, I'm more of a Marvel fan, anyways. I've always, when I was growing up, um, as comic books, you know, as toys. Don't get me wrong, I was probably more of a Batman fan because I love the original Batman show that was on TV with Adam West. But as far as actual comics, I used to love the Spider-Man comics. They were funny. And the X-Men. The X-Men really got me. And the X-Men movies were really good. And Marvel really has put out a lot of stuff. And Disney has continued to put out good stuff for them. I have no complaints.
The thing is with DC and Marvel Versace. It's like the Pepsi and Coke of animation, of TVs, of franchises per se. You know what I'm saying?
It is. I mean, they're two giant companies, and they're really like, it's almost like if you wanted to compare back in the day, WCW and WWF, and there would be these two giants going head to head. And this is what they were, and they are almost the same, but they're different. They don't copyright infringe anybody. Nobody has, the same kind of characters, but it's superhero stuff, and the territory is kind of marked. You got Batman, Superman here, you got Spider-Man and Ant-Man there, you got this one here, that one there, and these fall in this category, and they both have their very intricate universes. It's almost like Pokemon and Digimon, you know what I mean? Like,
one ended up being way superior than the other.
it did, but
So at the time, it felt like they were both similar. Because I was right in the middle of that generation. I was that generation that had Pokemon and Digimon. I liked the Pokemon original anime, but Digimon's anime was awesome. But the games are way better for Pokemon.
well, see,
and
that's
the
what happened
trading
with
card
that. See,
games.
but
That's what
and the thing with DC is they both put out quality when they want to, and they can both put out bad stuff. And then they put out more quality, and then they put out more gaming and more franchising, and then they both have a rich history and past. So, like wrestling, even if you're not a fan of the new stuff, you can go back to the old Batmans and the old, movies of the X-Men and the old, cartoons of the X-Men.
cartoon was awesome. I love that song.
Yep. And you could go through all that. And X-Men, is such a just mind-bending, concept. If you think about the world we live in today and acceptance and, transgender and, homosexuality, race, all the stuff that just kind of divides us. X-Men talked and dealt with all of that. They just put it and lumped it all together as one thing, being a mutant. And, it talked about the diversity and how, they were treated and, how they kind of came together to, strengthen each other and deal with the outside world. And that X-Men was really kind of ahead of its time if you really look at it. And I can go into that. It's really deep, but it really was ahead of its time. The animation was great. The music was awesome. The storylines were great. I loved seeing the characters be brought to life the way they were. And I believe who has that? Which streaming service has that?
But what? I couldn't hear you. Versace.
I said, what streaming service has the original X-Men now? Is it Disney Plus?
Yes, Disney Plus. If it has it.
Okay, it is Disney Plus. I didn't know if it was Paramount. Cause it's weird because some of these places like don't own everything. So some will be on Paramount, some will be here, some will be there.
Actually, that's the case for Spider-Man that Disney still has issues with because Sony technically owns Spider-Man, even though it's Marvel owns it too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, go look at old wrestling videos and stuff. Anything with Hulk Hogan and like Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan especially, he was trademarked by Marvel. And so it wasn't like other wrestlers trademarked by other people. Andre Ultimate Warrior, I think, for the longest time, Hulk and Hulkster and all these were trademarked because of Hulk to Marvel. So, I mean, it happens. Trademark is crazy. And when you own them for so many years, and then you got to renew, and yeah, big nightmare. But I mean, so we have a lot going on here at the BSW. We've definitely expanded what we do here. It's not just indie wrestling. It's not just local sports. We are, watching movies and covering that. We are playing games and, doing a lot of streaming and checking out a lot of that stuff. And, I think it's been pretty fun. We're also trying to plan our annual cruising for a bruising. That is coming upon the season to say, Wolf.
DMC, what promotion you want to represent?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I want to get a bunch of people, to come on the show, represent a promotion, and maybe we can see who wins. And I don't know, maybe VSW. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe the winner this time. Let's say you're from Top Rope, and let's say I don't know, you're Teddy Goods and you represent Top Rope, and we interview you, and he has the most views. Maybe we'll go to every Top Rope show for 1 year. Every month. We'll go to one Top Rope, or if
Buy $100 worth of merch, the other $100 like a cash prize, and a possible sponsorship for that promotion for a
to
show.
do that too, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like NCW wins, we'll buy tickets to every show a month, and we'll give them full coverage. The wrestler will get some merch sales, and we'll set things up. We want to do something a little bit different this year, so the promotions are in it too. Because that is part of the BSW. We're here, yes, for the wrestlers, 100%, but we're also here for the promoters and the promotions. Without that, nobody has a place to wrestle.
Versace, but they're gonna be here for us too. It's a two-way street.
It
not
is.
a
It
one-way.
is. It is. Sure is. It sure is. But we will be working on that shortly, any which way. On that cruising for a bruising and figure out all the details of the prizes and so forth this year. But yeah, I have to say, I mean, a lot of great things are on the horizon here for VSW, and like I said, a lot of great gaming. If you're a gaming fan, stay tuned. If you're a wrestling fan, there is gonna be some more stuff. Like I said, we are. I don't know what we're doing yet that Friday, but Saturday we will be in Maine for Limitless, and I can't wait. I haven't been there since last year, and honestly, I just can't wait. There's nothing like Maine Limitless Wrestling, and there's nothing like being front row. And we were so lucky this time. I just happened to be there. I was like, to say, well, go in, see if you can get front row. Can you get them? And they were there, and we just got them. Never happens. Amazing. Amazing. And I really just can't wait for that. And also, GCW coming to Rhode Island.
I remember in New England, I believe it's
I went and saw them at Jersey last year, but you had some family arrangements you had to take care of. And so you weren't able to go to that show, but now they're coming closer, and we're gonna be there, and honestly, it's gonna be a great show, great time. Can't wait for that. A lot of stuff coming ahead. It's gonna be a summer full of pro wrestling, gaming, adventure, excitement. We're gonna do some road trips. We're gonna take some, maybe we're gonna take some days, go to New Hampshire, go maybe to the mountainside, do some videoing. Go to the go,
up so we can relieve some stress for us and help provide good content.
exactly. We also want to hit some of the beaches in New England. Do a bunch of things this year. Do a little bit of difference.
Try some eateries and doing a vlog for VSW log for eating.
Yep, everybody's got to eat, so you might as well eat at a good restaurant. But like I said, a lot of things coming soon. This week coming up, I don't believe there is. Is there any shows this weekend to say, Wolf?
Oh, I'll be honest with you. I don't think there is.
No. See, and that's how it works. There'll be one weekend with no shows, and then there'll be 5 shows in one night or 4 shows in one night, and that's just how it works. That's, pro wrestling for you. But we will Monday probably do our Limitless preview, if I had to guess, and also maybe I don't know how far along the playoffs will be. but we will have a dedicated episode to Celtics. And I believe you said you were gonna do quick recaps maybe after the games or before the games or something. I don't know. You were saying maybe quick 5-minute recaps after these playoff games.
Yeah, so I was thinking the Celtics game 3 Saturday, tomorrow's Thursday's game 2. Friday we'll do a preview.
Yeah, do a preview, kind of see where we're at. You know, check in.
But we'll recap the first 2 games too. And I'll include the more in depth for the Bruins too, because there could be possibility we saw Patrice Bergeron's last game this past Saturday in a Bruin uniform. How much that would mean? A lot of stuff going on, especially since they had a quick playoff exit, but they did force a game 7. And the Celtics could go all the way, but they better not play like they did in the third quarter of game 1, or it will be a quick series for the Heat.
Well, we're just going to have to wait and find out to say, well, it's been great coming back on air, and I can't wait to see where we go from here at the VSW podcast. With that, I'm going to have to say goodnight, folks. Versace Stoner signing out.